Hi Stampers! Today we are going to talk about a swing card or a flip-flop card, as some people call it. So if you remember before, we made this card where we had cut off half the front and put it here, and that was really cute. These cards are a little bit different because they swing or flip over, so you've got something on the front and something on the back. Okay, so I thought I'd start with this one, using our Painted Poppies set, and this one's got the thank you on the front and then just got the life is better with a friend like you. So this can be done, this technique can be done with any symmetrical shape. Okay, so you could use these scallops, they are symmetrical. I could use these circles, you could use an oval. And actually on one of the other cards I did use this octagon. I think it's got 8 sides. Okay, but for this one I just chose to use the square. So to do this, and I'll be using this card out of here, you take your paper, bring it over here, and fold it in half. Okay, just like we would any other time. And then take the front and fold it back in half, like we did for the Rhino card. Okay, but now instead of attaching something to the front here, we're actually going to cut on the front. So with these cards, if you want to use some designer series paper on them, it's generally easier to put that on first. Okay, and just in the interest of time, I'm going to do that real quick. If you don't want to use designer paper, then you can skip this step. Okay, so I'm going to do that and have it close to the fold line here. Okay, then you would bring your Big Shot in, and by the way, I am going to show you how to do this too if you don't have a Big Shot. And pardon me if this is going to make this move a little bit. All right, so if you will do this and then put your die down with the points here and here, and I'm going to put just a little piece of washi tape so it doesn't move, so that we're going to be equal on both sides. That's why you have to have a symmetrical plate. And then all you're going to do is take your plate and put it just to the halfway point, just to that point where you want to cut to, and then you're going to run that through the Big Shot. And this is very awkward for me to try to do it from this side. This is so funny. Let me put it in on the other side so I can do it. Make sure I get it lined up. There. Okay, now I can move the Big Shot out of the way. Okay, so as you can see, I'll take off my washi tape, hopefully without ripping the paper. Some of this washi tape I've got's been so sticky, it's hard to get it off. Okay, and as you can see, there we go, I cut half of the square. Now I could have done the square this way. I just thought it would be fun to do it this way. Okay, and I'm going to leave that attached because now what we're going to do is fold that open. We are going to attach something on the front here, and then we're going to flip it and we're going to attach something on the back. Okay, and then you could put your paper on the inside. If you wanted to have a piece of designer series paper in there also, you can see that that would make it look kind of cool because you would have the 2 sides. Okay, so again, we're going to attach to the front, flip, and attach to the back. So let's look at a couple of these other cards. Like I said, I did this one, didn't put any designer series paper on this one. Okay, just cut the octagon. And to do that, because when I lined up the square with the points, that told me where the midpoint was. But on this octagon, I went ahead and measured and put a little mark at the midway point so that when I cut this, I could line that up and I'd know where the midpoint was. If I'd wanted to cut it this way, again, I could have just used the 2 points because that would have been midway. But to do it this way, or if you wanted to do your square, you know, the usual square way, here we go. If I wanted to cut this, I would just measure the midpoint on the die. Okay, so for this one, I just didn't want the white showing out here like we have on some of the other cards, so I just made the white half size on that. And then on this one, I did the DSP again, Designer Series paper, and did a flip-flop on that one too. Okay, so and it's kind of neat because this color, the crushed curry, I don't think I would have put it with the mint, but I was looking for a piece of Designer Series paper that I could use for this card, and then the mint was there, and I thought, boy, I really like the way that that looks together. Okay, so let's do one then if you do not have a big shot. Okay, so if you don't have a big shot, again, I would fold your card in half like you normally would. Okay, and then you could either fold it again, or actually this time I'm going to show you, I just drew a line where my fold point would be, and then I wanted to put a square on this one. Okay, so just like I did here, same size square, which I said was going to be 2 3/4. This time I just folded that little piece of paper in half to show me where the halfway point was going to be. And I can line that up here on my line and draw it so that I can cut half of the square. Now for this card, I think I wanted to go ahead and use the Designer Series paper again. So I'll put that on there and kind of butt it right up to the line that I drew, halfway between here and here, which would be 2 1/8. Okay, and then I line up my square here, and then I just took a pencil and drew around the square. And you could use a ruler here if you wanted to. Okay, so now I have my half of my square drawn on here. And I'll show you in a minute why I didn't fold this one, because you can do it either way. And then if I just line this up, and hopefully I'll be able to see it in this light, line this up, and then I'm just going to cut that line. Cut this line. You know, I always run so close on time when I'm doing these cards because there's always just so much you want to show. Okay. And then cut that line. All right, so just using my cutter, I've cut this out. Instead of using the die and cutting it halfway, I just went ahead and cut it. Now, any pencil marks you have, you can just erase those. You know, those will come right off. Just not going to spend the time to erase that now. Okay, so then if you want to just take this and fold it back, this piece is not going to fold. Only your part that you want to fold will fold. And now, see, it still flops. If I want to put this on here and this on here, I don't see that fold line right here like you would. Here we go, on this one. Whoop. The one that I folded and then put this in, if I were to put something smaller here, you would see the fold line. Okay, so by folding just this outside part afterwards, you don't see the fold line on this piece. And then I could put this here. Again, I could open it up, and I had a piece of DSP here, but I could put the DSP there. And again, the reason I do that is so that from the front, I wouldn't be able to see the white. So if you wanted to see the white, like I did on my first card here, that's okay too. Just maybe decorate it. Okay, but here I wanted it not to be able to see it, and then I would put the other right there. Okay, so how you can make a swing card or a flip-flop card using either your symmetrical dies from your Big Shot or using just your cutter. Okay, that would be a really cool card to make. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.